got it all. All we got for our money, they've got some great big church. They've robbed us blind. We've made some Uncle Tom rich. You're not free with your Cadillac. You're doing just exactly what the man wants you to do. Buy his goods, so you'll never have any real economic freedom. You're not free, you're a slave.
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your boy Russ, and I need a sound check real quick, man. As you can see, I got headphones on because I have attempted to do ear pods. I've attempted to do AirPods, other kind of stinking, all kinds of stuff, bro, and just no dice. So I need a sound check real quick, man. How do I sound? Because last week was atrocious. And so we're going with the daggone headset right now, and until I can figure this thing out. But I appreciate everybody hanging out, man. 7 people in here off the jump, and it is hate week, baby. It is hate week. There is no other way to put it. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. This is it's a bunch of hate. That's what it is. They don't like us. We don't like them. Pure, plain, and simple, man. And this is, like I said in my my preview and prediction, sounds good. My man Hutch in the house. What's up, baby? Good to see you, Hutch. I do not like the Wolfpack. Out of all the NCAA schools in the country, I think there's 133 Division One teams right now, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody check me if that number is incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. By far, it's the guys out in West Raleigh that I can't stand the most. Can't stand them. And I'm talking about specifically football. Basketball, no. I know you guys had a year last year, and you think you're back and you're relevant. And I know Carolina's not having the best start to their season right now, but no. All right, it's Carolina Duke. But football, it's Carolina State. And you see the common denominator here is Carolina. Ipso facto, we are the flagship. So I'm going to go ahead and start things off with that. Preston, LOL State sucks. 100. Hey, 100%, bro. Let me get you up here on a throne. I appreciate you, Press, with the 20 spot off the jump, man. There are a lot of people that are going to be in here today and tomorrow that will agree with that, my friend. I cannot stand the wolf sack. Can't stand them, bro. I appreciate you with the 20, man. 100% Preston. Um, and until I started this show, ironically enough, 134 says Hutch. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for the correction. Until I started this show, and I said it a lot last year in some of my stuff that I did in the truck, my Russ's rants, which I might have to bring that back next year. Um, I never really got along with a bunch of state people either. Now we've had some good guys come through the channel, um, you know, but it really has been hit or miss per se. Just I don't know what it is, man. We're just different, I guess, for the most part. But like I said, this is the game that I circle every single year, and this is the one that hurts the most when we lose, and it's the one that feels the best when we win. It is the Super Bowl of the state of North Carolina. I don't care what anybody from state or Carolina says. This is the one that means the most. It is, and there is a certain level of truth to you can lose them all and beat these guys, and all is right in the world. Now, obviously, like I said, I'm being a little facetious, but you guys get the point. That's how much we hate each other, man. And North Carolina has had their fair share of success. 68-39 with 6 ties. Um, and so the scope of this entire rivalry, Carolina has dominated. However, the unfortunate fact of the matter is that State has won 7 of the last 10. And this is an excellent opportunity. Um, this is an excellent opportunity for Mack Brown to go out on a shield and beat the Wolfsack. I think that would put him at 3-3 in his second stint, and it's something that needs to happen, man. It's something that definitely needs to happen. Preston said we're smart to root for UNC, and they will root for LOL State. Yeah, yeah, not as intelligent, man. 100%. 100%. So we'll go ahead and get into the all the admin stuff real quick. Let's look at the weather for all my boys that are going to be at the game, man. And hopefully Keenan is packed out for this because this is obviously Mack's last home game. About 45 degrees at the kick. It's going to be mostly sunny, little breezy out there. But if you look by 7 o'clock, man, the wind dies down a little bit, but you're going to be getting real close to freezing. So definitely bundle up out there at Keenan Stadium. Paint that bad boy blue, and make sure that you got some snivel gear, as we like to say in the Army, because it's gonna get a little chilly. And I don't want anybody to go anywhere. Nobody needs to stink and leave early. Now, as far as the Hills are concerned, they decided to go with the uniform combination that I would hope they did. They're going with the
Don't worry, Universe always
and
delivers.
I'm telling you right now, courtesy of Carolina football on the X, super clean, man. One of the cleanest uniforms in the country, man. Carolina blue helmet, Carolina blue throwback jersey with the Carolina blue throwback pants and the white cleats. Carolina is going to look phenomenal on Saturday night as they take on the Wolfsack, dude. So I'm really excited about this uniform combination. It's perfect as well because it just reminds me of those mid-90s years where before Mack left, when we kind of hit that peak, kind of like a perennial top 10 team for 2 or 3 seasons. And Carolina had things cooking, and this was kind of the look that they had. So definitely excited about the uniform choice. And once again, it is going to be paramount that Carolina sends my man Mack out, man. So I know there's a lot of mixed emotions about Mack leaving. It's one of those things where I've been kind of calling for it, especially after JMU. That was kind of like the last, the straw that broke the camel's back, man, for me. And I tried to stay positive. But that just became something that seemed to happen every season, whether it was Virginia or Georgia Tech last season, or Virginia and Georgia Tech last season, Georgia Tech the season before that, Carolina not playing in bowl games, with passion and pride like South Carolina Sam Howell's last year, and you know, very interested in what everybody has to think or say about Mack Brown getting pushed out. And I tell you what, man, before we really open these phone lines up and start talking about NC State and a couple of good memories between Carolina and NC State, um, I think that to a certain extent it says a little bit about how serious, Bubba Cunningham is about football. I mean, you were willing to tell a Hall of Famer like, hey, I'd like for you to step aside and go out, try to go out with some decency. Max said, I'm not ready to go. And Bubba said, well, you know, you're going to have to go. And I think that says a little bit to how the university is looking at football. It's important. So, and 6 wins, 7 wins, whatever we end up with at the end of the season is, it's become not good enough. And it isn't good enough, especially when you take the talent and the schedule into consideration. So, without further ado, man, I'm going to open up these phone lines. Like I said, tell me a little bit about what you think about this football game. Give me some favorite Carolina NC State memories, especially some of you that have been there for that game. Tell me about that rivalry, what it's like in person. I have only been to one Carolina NC State game, and it was all the way back in 2006, maybe. I have to go back and look. Exactly what year it was. But hold on. Sorry, guys. A little scatterbrain, man. Just got back in town. So phone lines are open. Give me a call. Hopefully this thing daggone works. And we got one already in here. You are on the phone with Russ. Who am I speaking to?
It's Preston.
Hey,
Preston. What's
up,
going on, man?
What's up, Press? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you good. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, brother. All right, shoot, man. What we got, baby?
All right. So last game of Mack's tenure, these guys hadn't won in 3 years. If you can't get fired up for that, there's no hope for you. I think we blow them out 35-14.
Wow. Now real quick, Press. Real quick, brother. So this is purely off of adrenaline. Mack's last game, 3 straight L's to NC State, and that is the culminating factor in why Carolina, because that's an ass whooping.
And don't forget, at Carolina, we're pieces of you know what.
Yeah.
Don't even forget about that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Dave Doreen or whatever his name is, called out their manhood.
Yeah.
You gonna take that?
I sure hope not, brother.
We're blowing them out, dude. I mean, and if we don't even deserve to. They deserve to start over from scratch anyway. So
right.
But we're blowing them out, man.
I'll tell you what, man. 35-14.
I appreciate Mack for what he's done, but it's time. It was time. So
I agree. Especially guys that are invested like you. You know what I'm saying? People that show up night in and night out and really root for this team, man. I agree. I think it was time, man. And like Max said, there really is no good time. It's never gonna feel good, Yeah. I mean,
true.
it's still kind of there's a part of it that, it hurts a little bit. It's weird. It's a little weird for me, because he has been such a pivotal part of the university.
It is, but we talked about this earlier. The writing was on the wall.
Right.
I mean, recruiting was in the toilet. We were losing a ton of people, starters this year. I mean, the program is not pointed up or even towards the middle.
Right.
It's kind of pointing down. The only thing that could have saved it was the portal. And we've done decent in the portal, but I wouldn't say we've done great. I mean, we've got some good players here and there, but as far as wholesale changes, that's just not been our style.
Right.
So
right.
We'll see. Let's curb stomp these guys and then worry about it with a new coach.
Yep, I completely agree, brother. Let's curb stomp them. Preston said 35-14. Real quick before you get out of here, Press, give me one of your favorite Carolina NC State moments, man. I know you've been through a couple of them.
Oh man, without a doubt, it was T.A. McClendon, the fumble there
Oh,
at
yeah.
the 1 yard line.
Oh, that's
I was
so
in the end zone. I knew we were about to lose that game, and then he fumbled that thing, and holy smokes,
Yeah.
that was
just a beautiful moment because that was because they were I think they called it a touchdown on the field. It got overturned, right? And then the question was, how in the world do
yeah,
we
that's
start?
right.
I think it was, how in the
Yeah.
world do we stop T.A. McClendon from like the 1 yard line? And they stood him up and he fumbled, bro. And everybody goes thinking and saying that. I mean, what's better than a goal line stand? You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that might have been better was the Geo punt return for touchdown because
Yeah.
the girl I took date, we had a good bet, and I won that, and I was happy about that.
You won
But
that
anyway,
one
that's
too.
beside the point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. O'Brien's a moron for kicking a Giovanni Bernard as well.
and getting rid of whoever Russell Wilson. He
Yeah.
got rid of him too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, like you said earlier, they ain't the sharpest tools in the shed.
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly.
But anyway, it's
I hear you,
rivalry week.
brother.
Well, I can talk junk. Now I do like Nick and Scott and those guys. They're nice guys.
They are
but
nice guys.
I
Yeah.
hope they're sad this week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
prayers to Scott again for his loss. But yeah, still hope he's sad
100%, brother. I think he understands the sentiment.
Sunday morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, brother. So, all right, Press. I appreciate you, brother. Preston says 35-14. Man, you make sure you bundle up, be loud and proud. And I can't wait to hear about
Absolutely.
how Mack's last game was, brother.
All right. We'll
All
talk
right,
to y'all later.
All right, bro. Later.
Bye.
My man Press. My man Press said 35-14 with a curb stomping, dude. I'm sitting here predicting a battle, and Preston said, hey, you know, these guys should be daggone ready to roll. I mean, with everything that Doran has said, you know, it's been 1,400 days since those pieces in Chapel Hill beat us, and you know, 3 straight losses to inferior teams, and I mean, there's just so, and it's Mack Brown's last home game. I mean, there really is just no reason not to be completely over the moon excited about this football game. You are on the phone with Russ, baby. Who am I speaking to?
Russ, you know it's Hutch in the house, baby.
Hutch, what's up, my man?
Doing good, my brother, man. Hey, I just want to start off, man, by saying happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
You as well, brother.
You know, it may sound cheesy, man, but this is I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for, you know, you setting this channel up and forming this community, and, you know, thankful for Preston and, you know, Scott and Nick and all the guys here, man. And, you know, you and I do the same job, brother. And 13 years in patrol, man, you know it takes its toll, especially if you're in a major city. And, you know, you got a city that doesn't really like the police and a DA that doesn't like the police even more, man. So, you know, this is something I look forward to, man. It's fun to call in and talk a little football with you guys, man.
I'm always excited
really
when you call in, Hutch.
deeply appreciate y'all welcoming in an outsider, man. So I just want to thank you.
No, thank you,
all
man.
you guys for that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'd be more grateful if my Pitt Panthers would follow suit and send Narduzzi off to wherever it is Mack's going.
Ready for Pat to leave?
Yeah, man. It's just like it's time, man. It's the last 4 games. Yeah, it's just kind of the same thing, man. He's guy's 58 years old. You know, they're just mediocre.
Right.
It's, you know, it's. I'd ask you this question. I think I already know the answer. You know, if Mack was 43 years old and, you know, the age wasn't an issue, would you still want him coaching North Carolina?
Nah, he wouldn't have gotten as long as he had.
Right. I mean, it's you know, if I gave you the option that, hey, you could hang on to a guy like Mack and be 7-5 every year for the next 10, 12 years and end up in the baseball bowl or in Maryland or Annapolis, you probably wouldn't take that, you know, and that's where Pitt is right now. You know, It's like, if I gave you that option to say, look, man, you're going to go and you're going to hire a coach that's going to, you know, you might take your lumps. You're going to lose a bunch of kids, probably some in the portal. You're going to lose some that are recruits. You got 25, 26 seniors that are about to graduate. If I said, hey, Rush, you're going to be 4-8 next year, and you're going to be 5-7 in 2025. But next year after that, man, guess what? You're going to be 10-2. You're going to the ACC title game.
Right.
Year after that, you're 11-1. You win the ACC title game, and you're in the playoff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you'd take that.
I'm taking that, bro.
You know,
all
so
day. Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of where they are, where it's like Narduzzi has tapped out. It's they're at the most they're going to get out of that guy.
Mhm.
And trust me, man, I'm not delusional enough to think that this is going to be a national title team every year or at all.
Right.
But there's nothing that should prevent them from being an ACC contender every year.
Right.
Right. And I think Preston brought it up in the Discord. Hey, Narduzzi did win an ACC title. And I said, well, Mark Whipple and Kenny Pickett won that ACC title.
Yeah.
If you remember it, they lost to Western Michigan at home, where Kenny Pickett threw 6 touchdown passes and 450 yards, and they gave up 45 to a Mack team at home, and then gave up 38 to a Miami team led by Tyler Van Dyke. And those 2 losses, they would have been 13-0, would have been in the playoff.
Right. Definitely had their shot that year. Yeah.
I just think that you got to, at this point, get younger. And again, it's like, do I think that's going to happen? No, it's not how they operate, but something has to be done, man. He's kind of, he and Mike Tomlin are just one and the same now, where it's like, you can't criticize Tomlin, because everybody throws in, he's never had a losing season. Well, great. He's won 3 playoff games the last 14 years.
That is true.
9-8 every year is getting it done.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's one of the reasons why, I was impressed with, and I know that there are some, I've heard some things behind the scenes as far as the Mack, whose decision this ultimately was, but it at least said a little bit something to me that Bubba Cunningham was willing to, he didn't want to, but he was willing to lay the axe down to do what he believed needed to be done for the program. So,
right.
I mean,
and that's my hope, is that, Pitt's got a new AD. He's not tied to Narduzzi. He may want to get his own guy in there,
right,
and have a different, vision for the program. And, God's honest truth, I hope so. I think it's just time. Like, I don't have anything against Pat.
But sometimes your when your hope is dwindled, man, the only thing, I mean, even here, it hurts a little bit, but at the same time, there's hope. It kind of reinvigorates that hope of, we can get somebody in here to actually take it to the next level.
Right.
And
because
so,
watching these last 4 games, I mean, the drops, the penalties, just, they look uncoached. It's absolute garbage football. And it's like, you have the possibility, they play BC tomorrow, and it's like BC might do to us what they did y'all. And you finish on a 5-game losing streak, and now you're going into whatever second-tier baseball bowl in Boston or Annapolis or New York or wherever you're going. And if you lose that, and you finish 7-6, it's like, I mean, the season that started 7-0 is now just a complete.
Right.
It's just a complete, train wreck.
And that's kind of what Carolina's been going through the past 2 years, and so trust me. I mean, we didn't go on a 6-game losing streak or a 5-game losing. It was 1-4 against P4 for 3 straight years. But obviously, when you're starting out and you're number 10 in the country, you're number 13 in the country, and then the bottom falls out at the end of the next 3 years, that gets old, bro. That gets
right.
And
old. You and I talked about it. I said Mack and Pat they're so similar. It's all these losses to teams you shouldn't lose to at home.
Right.
And it's granted, they got beaten by SMU. SMU's a better football team, and they played Clemson tough with a backup quarterback and gave the game away. That was disappointing. But when you get curb stomped at Louisville, where you're not even in the game, and you let a below average Virginia team beat you at home, and they do that every year. Every year they lose to teams they shouldn't beat, or they shouldn't lose to. And oftentimes at home. And it's just that has to end. I mean, there's got to be a point where it's like, this is no longer tolerated. We need to go a different direction.
Right.
So I don't know who y'all are going to get. I mean, I know John Summerall is one of the leading names, which I think would be a good hire. Honestly, the more I read about Glenn Schumann, the more I like. I mean, this is a guy young guy, 34 years old, has 5 national title rings, 3 from Alabama as an assistant, 2 from Georgia. Apparently he's a crack stud recruiter. You got 3 guys that literally have been the guys in coaching. You got Saban, Smart, and Dabo, and he's coached under 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it's just, to me, that's an intriguing hire.
It is. The only thing that scares me, the only thing that scares me about that is because I love the pedigree. But it scares me in the sense that, Carolina doesn't have the resources, obviously, of a Georgia and Alabama. So what is he going to do? How will he be able to recruit? Because I feel like I could go and recruit for Alabama and Georgia right now, and I could convince people, hey, this is a good place for you to come and play college football. So can he do that at Carolina with less money and less resources? That remains to be seen. So I am very intrigued by the pedigree. I just wonder if he can duplicate that at a place like Carolina.
Right. And I'd say, I mean, this is an incredibly, you got to nail this hire.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you've got to get the guy that's going to push this program forward. Not only that, it's like you can't go back. You can't have a missed hire where
Right.
you're back to being a 3-9 team like at the end of the Fedora era. It just can't happen. So it'll be interesting, man. I'm interested to see who they actually get. I know the thing is that Summerall's a Kentucky guy, and maybe have he may have designs on that job. They may be coming after him if they decide to part with Stoops. That's the thing is that a lot of the times these guys, if they have the opportunity to go elsewhere, they're going to, either for money, for ego, for bigger, more prominent jobs.
Right.
And sadly, it's just one of those things you kind of have to deal with in this day and age.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Rich Rodriguez played at West Virginia, coached at West Virginia, and he bounced and went to Michigan for the money.
I know, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No loyalty these days.
you do what you can. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think they made the right decision. I think that Mack Brown was a heck of a coach, did a great job rejuvenating this program on 2 occasions. But it's just time for fresh blood to come in. I think
Right.
you need to have somebody young, somebody dynamic. I'm a defensive guy, but I think you need to have someone that is a young offensive mind. That's just my 2 cents. But it'll be interesting to see who y'all get.
Yeah.
So getting into this game, man. I've watched both y'all, the Pack and the Heels, play a bunch of games this year. It'll be interesting. It's a rivalry game, like you said. You know it. You throw the records out, they don't mean anything. They're both going to be out there playing balls out. I mean, you look at the Egg Bowl today, Mississippi State, not good at all, and they gave Ole Miss a game at home.
Right.
So,
Right.
The Wolfpack, C.J. Bailey is a good young quarterback. I think this kid's going to be a good player. Wasn't supposed to start this year, but with the injury, got thrust into the starting lineup. Played pretty well, can beat you with his legs, has elite arm talent. The thing is you looked at them early in the year, their offensive line was horrid.
Right.
You look at the games early when they were getting beat, that offensive line was dreadful. It's competent now from what I've seen. The thing is it kills them, and it's killed them all year, is turnovers. I think I read something like that they have like 22 turnovers. There's only 7 teams in FBS that have more turnovers than NC State does. And the game I was at against Syracuse, they had 3 turnovers inside the plus 30. They had 2 lost fumbles and a pick in a game you lost by 7 points. Defensively, their front 7 is not bad. It's not great, but it's solid. And I'll tell you what, man, watching them last year, I think Peyton Wilson was the absolute heart and soul of that defense.
He was.
That he's not there. They're just not the same.
Yeah. And I told a lot of them
not the
that
same
was going to happen. I said, I don't think you guys realize just how important he was to that defense. He was I hate to say it because I can't stand the guy, but he was a game-changing type linebacker.
Yeah.
And
you see what
he
he's
was
doing
the
for
heart
the
and soul.
Steelers. As a rookie, he's playing lights out in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So, the thing is they kind of hurt themselves a lot. The thing is for North Carolina, man, for those seniors, this is your last game at Keenan. It's Mack's last game. If you can't get up for that game, don't even put the uniform on. Don't play.
100%.
Just stay in the locker room.
100%, bro.
Truthfully on both sides, that place better be packed. I better not see a damn empty seat in that stadium.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I agree.
It should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Honestly, I don't think that NC State's going to be. I don't think you're going to get to the end of the year and you've had a turnover problem all year, and suddenly that's going to go away, and you're going to play this turnover-free game. Also, the freshman quarterback, I think C.J. Bailey is going to be a good player. I think he is a good player, but he's still a freshman. And, with their O-line, they've struggled. They've struggled to protect him. They've struggled to open up holes in the running game. Concepcion's production has dropped big time. That Hollywood Smothers is a home run threat.
He is, bro. He makes me nervous.
Again,
I'm not gonna lie.
You got to open holes for him.
Right. Right.
Honestly, man, if I'm North Carolina, man, you remember Varsity Blues, man. Great drive right now. Just basically going to Brown the whole way. You can stamp U.S. mail on his butt, stamp U.S. mail on Marion Hampton's butt, and give him 35 carries.
Yes, sir.
And ride him to a win.
Yes, sir.
And that's how you do it, man.
Yes, sir. I agree.
I'm taking the Heels 30-24. I think these guys are going to play out, man. I think, they're going to galvanize all the emotion of this season, with the loss of Tylee Kraft, with Mack being Mack's last game, the word that he's not going to coach a bowl game. And, if you're a senior, this is your last one at home, man.
Right.
And you don't want to remember it as a loss to your bitter rival.
You're
going to leave everything out there and hopefully come out with a win.
Yeah, hopefully. So, hopefully. Like you
that's
said.
my 2 cents, brother.
I appreciate you, bro. Like you said, man, I mean, there are so many variables on here of why you should be juiced. Aside from this is your rival. I mean, you better come out with your hair on fire.
And it better be an electric atmosphere, man. I mean, 100%. It better be, everybody watching that better be like, man, North Carolina showed out. It's a rivalry, and place is packed, and it's electric.
Right.
It's the way it should be for games like this, man.
100%, brother. 100%, Hutch. 100%, bro. Real quick, before you get out of here, man.
Yep.
An outsider, from an outsider's perspective, and I know that you're kind of a football guy, whether it's good or bad, what is the outsider's opinion of North Carolina, NC State, if there even is one?
Well, for me, I grew up, just loving college football, and I always loved the rivalries, kind of, not only the big ones, the Auburn, Alabamas, and the Michigan and the Ohio States, because you got to understand, man, I grew up rooting for a program that, it was one of those similar under the radar rivalries. It was Pitt and West Virginia is a bitter rivalry.
Yeah.
But it's not really nationally known. Like, there are not a lot of people that really know that much about it. And I think that a lot of those rivalries, like NC State and North Carolina, if you follow college football, you know about it. It's a lot like kind of Clemson, South Carolina, and those rivalries that are good, bitter rivalries. But I think if you aren't a true college football fan, or if you just watch your own team, you don't really know about it.
Right.
But once you watch those games, man, those are legit games.
Yeah.
They're always watched, the Ole Miss Mississippi State game. I would always watch South Carolina and Clemson. I was always watching, North Carolina State, because they were good. They're good games. And you could feel that there was a lot of hatred between those two schools.
Some animosity. Yeah.
So, and that's the way it should be. I mean, to me, that's what makes college football, is
100%.
that it's the genuine bitter hate.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I root for a school that almost 17 years later still walks around with shirts that read 13-9.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not familiar, 13-9 in 2007, West Virginia was 11-1, had like basically a laundry list of just stud players, and were killing everybody. I mean, I think South Florida, when they were number 2, was the only team that beat them. And last game of the year, a 4-7 Pitt team goes into Mountaineer Field, I think 29-point underdog. And Pat McAfee missed 2 field goals, and Paul Rose came up with a heck of a defensive game plan, and they walked out of there with a 13-9 victory.
Yeah.
And it might be the most bitter loss in any rivalry in the country, because they were going to play Ohio State for the national title.
Right.
They lost, and LSU jumped them.
And so that as a rival who did that to their rival, I know that's sweet.
It's
that's sweet.
5-7, but hey, we took your national title away.
We took your national title away. I mean, it's kind of where Carolina's at right now. We have a chance to, send you guys. You guys will be at home for Christmas, watching us play in a bowl game. That's what Carolina has an opportunity to keep State from bowling. So, I mean,
right.
Another reason why you should be stinking juice for this thing, man.
So, yeah, I mean, I think if you're a real college football fan, you know that this is a rivalry. You know that Carolina Duke's a rivalry. You know that on the football side, this is probably more bitter, especially, no offense, Russ, because North Carolina State's won 7 of the last 10.
Yeah.
And I read something today that I think they've won 4 of the last 5 at Keenan.
They have, man. So, it's been, and it's unacceptable. It really is. It's unacceptable, man. So,
I got a small taste of it. Like I said, my ex-girlfriend is from North Carolina, and going into church, we go to church on Sundays in this small town in North Carolina, and when the preachers are talking, they bring up that rivalry sermons,
Yeah.
Like, man, this is kind of intense, man. Like
Yeah.
when they're talking about that blue team, and you may not like that red team, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of sums it all up, man.
Yes,
so
it
from an
does.
outsider, it's a legit rivalry. I wish more people would follow it, and I just think, sadly, it gets overshadowed, like a
Right.
lot of really good rivalries do, because everybody just really focuses on, the Michigan and the Ohio States and the Notre Dame and whoever, and Auburn, Alabama, and those are all great rivalries, but there are a ton out there.
Yeah.
So,
100%, brother. 100%, man. Pretty cool, Hutch. Pretty cool, brother. Well, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you calling
absolutely,
in.
man.
And you be
Cool.
safe. You ain't working right now, right?
No,
Okay,
I
all right.
worked the last 4. This is my first. I got weekends off now, so
Okay.
I'm on a Monday through Thursday
My man.
rotation. So I got today, tomorrow, and Sunday off. And go back in
You gonna
Monday,
watch a bunch of
so.
college football tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you
So I
drop
got
in, man.
plans.
Come in for a second, man. When we watch Carolina State.
Oh, absolutely will.
Okay.
Absolutely will, man.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna bounce out, and I want to hear all these Wolfpack people come in, man. I want to hear some John.
Yeah,
all you
we'll
Pack
see.
people call in, man.
All right, brother.
Later, man.
All right, man. Later. My man Hutch. My man Hutch said 30-24. Said 30-24. Carolina thinks they're gonna show out. Come in here and stink and play. Carlton said Russ would have to send all the super chats to cover the NIL. Yeah. Every little bit helps, Carlton. Every little bit helps, man. Yeah, super underrated rivalry, man. Even when I was like really young. I mean, this really was, at least in Fayetteville, man, where I was from. Football, it was Carolina and State. There wasn't no daggone Duke fans. It was Carolina and State, man. You are on the phone with Russ. Who am I speaking to?
Bobby, how you doing, Russ?
What's going on, Bobby? How you doing, brother?
Not much, man. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee on vacation.
Okay. I hear you, brother.
Yeah.
I hear you. So
Yeah.
what you got for
Well,
me,
I got
Bobby?
to go. Yeah, I got to go inside of the Tennessee Volunteer Stadium, man. You talking about a big stadium?
It's like
Got to go
110,000,
inside of
right?
the Vanderbilt Stadium. Got to go in it.
Okay.
On the artificial turf. And I got to go to the NFL football stadium, Tennessee Titans Stadium,
Very
while
cool.
I'm down here.
Very cool, man.
Yes, sir. I made my rounds.
Yeah.
I
Cool,
sure
brother.
did.
Cool, brother.
But
Very cool,
yeah,
man.
I called in about the big game this weekend, dude.
So what you got,
I'm going to
man?
be at that game. Actually, we're leaving out tonight, and we're driving through the night, and be at the 3:30 game tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about, brother. So who you rooting for, Bobby?
Well, I'm an NC State fan, you know that. Big game's been really close. I told my son, I said, I want to make me a sign up for Roy Williams. Tell Roy Williams we love him. We don't want him to go. Please stay, because we got a little bit
You
history
talking about Mack Brown,
against
right?
him about beating him and stuff like that. We want him to stay, but
You talking about Mack Brown,
but
right?
no, just rivalry, bro.
Hey, Bobby, you talking about
And
Mack Brown,
but-
right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Matt Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mack Brown. I was about to say because Roy Williams owned NC State.
No, I'm not Roy Williams, but Matt Brown. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Roy
okay.
Williams, Roy Williams, they have a number
Yeah.
in basketball.
Yeah, Roy.
But yeah, Matt Brown,
Okay, yeah.
man, like I say, we're gonna be at that game, dude. I hope our Wolfpack pulls it off. But like Caller said a while ago, man, we turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah. So what do you think, man? What do you think? What are you gonna see when you're in
it's an easy win for us if we stop the run.
If you stop the run? Well, I would agree. If you are able to stop the run, and NC State runs that 3-3 stack, which can be difficult, to a certain extent, unless you can get your offensive lineman up on their backers. But if State can stop the run, then I would agree with you. I would agree that you have that's how you're going to win this football game. But if Chip Lindsey gives Omarion Hampton 35 carries and he's averaging 5 yards a pop,
we lose. Yep.
You're probably going to lose. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I mean that's the thing, man. We get run on with. We hadn't done a good job this year on a run defense. Ain't looked good at times. They really haven't. We look better against the Georgia Tech game. I mean, who knew the Georgia Tech quarterback finally going to throw the ball downfield. You know.
Right.
Uh, yeah, and he ran the ball in right there at the heartbreaker at the end
Yeah.
and all. But yeah, I mean, Pat, the NC State knows what's on the line. They know they lose, they don't go to a bowl game. They win, they go to a bowl game.
So they should be juiced
and
too, man. Right.
yeah,
So, I mean, both teams
I,
should be on. It should be a fantastic atmosphere and a fantastic football game because a lot's on the line in this thing.
it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason we're going to the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool, man.
Yeah, my son pulled some tickets down, and we went to Nashville. We hung out here about all week. We're leaving in a couple hours, man. We're going to drive through tonight.
I like it.
So we can get there for the game.
I like it, man. Well, hey, make sure you stop into Chapel Hill Sportswear and get you some Carolina gear before you get into the stadium, okay? Because I don't know if they'll let you in if you're wearing red. All right.
No, definitely not. Hope we're sitting with a bunch of red around us. But you know, I hope they show up for the game.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know,
man.
I mean, they should. You know, right down the road. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I think the thing to be slam packed.
Should
Only
be.
thing I wish, brother, if it was a night game. I think it looks better at night, but
Yeah, well, you're
No.
gonna get. I mean, it should be a little bit darker, right? I mean, it's 3:30 kick, lasts till about 6:30, 7 o'clock, man. Unless it goes to OT. I mean, I think you'll get some of that night game atmosphere, and I think it'll be like,
yeah,
you know, partly cloudy, so you'll get a nice little sunset in the backdrop, and only thing you have to worry about is that chill, man, because it's gonna be a little chilly out there. It's gonna be a little chilly
yeah,
out
I
there.
know. I'm
So,
gonna bundle up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I told my son we went Tennessee Balls football stadium, man. No, it's like I think they said that stadium like 110,
Yes,
120,000.
it's like 110,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
And we went there, man. We hung out. I mean, you know, the college stadium was kind of easier to get in. They left the gates open and everything. We just walked on in.
Right.
And all, but yeah,
That's
it
cool, man. Yeah, that's
it was pretty exciting. I mean, Vanderbilt Stadium's small though, man. I think it's just about the size of Wake Forest Stadium.
right.
You know?
Yeah. I'm
You
sure
know,
it is. Yeah.
yeah, it don't hold about 39,000.
Right.
But yeah, man, you can about put Carolina NC State Stadium inside of Tennessee Ball
Literally.
Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally. I mean, it's literally.
Yeah.
I think Carolina seats 50,000, and I think State's
Yeah.
probably what 55, 60, something like that. So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, probably both fit inside of Tennessee Stadium. You're right.
Yeah, man, but it's old, dude. I mean, it is. I mean, the outside, you know, they got metal out there, rusted. I mean, the you know where the inside, you can tell it's an old stadium. You can
Yeah.
tell, you know, it's very old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, it's rusted up. I mean, you know, we ended our trip. I mean, today, man, we ended our trip. We went into the Opera House, got to hang out. So, you know, and it was nice too.
Yeah. I hear you,
You
brother.
know, get to go in the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah.
That's pretty cool,
So
man. That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's a pretty nice trip. It really is. It's
Well,
cold here though.
I'm glad you're enjoying your trip, man. I'm glad you're enjoying your trip. What you
Yeah.
what do you think the final of this Carolina NC State game is gonna be?
Well, like I say, if you know, it can go either way. This rivalry. I mean, last 3 years, you look at it. I mean, well, 2 of them 3 years, because last year it wasn't much of a game, but the 2 years before that, you know, Carolina missed the field goal. That, you know, that lost them the game, and then whoever thought it was about 2 minutes to go in the game, it stayed down by a couple scores, you know, and got the onside kick back, and that was probably one of the greatest games ever played between both of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna come down to that again. I really do. I think it's gonna be a 1-score game. I don't think, you know, I don't want to. I'm not gonna pick. I'm gonna put State. I'm gonna take State. State gonna beat them by a field goal. I think it's gonna come down to that. So I mean, because the game can go either way. You know, I'm realistic on it, and you know, their senior night gonna be there. You know, and you know your coach. The last game, man, players gonna want to play for him. You know, that's every extra juice they need.
Yeah.
State, they're playing for their life, get to a bowl game. So both of them going to have extra juice.
Right.
Now, let me tell you something. If they come out there, either one of them come out there not psyched up for this game, man, like the last caller said, don't suit up.
I agree. Yep. Just like Hutch said,
Yeah.
if you can't get excited for this football game, why are you even here? Yep.
There's
100%,
a
man.
lot on the line. It's
so
just
much
not,
on the line.
rivalry, but you're sending your coach out the door. You want to win for your coach, and
Yeah.
State want to win to get to a bowl game.
Right.
And like I say, man, we might. I know they're going to retain our coach, but probably next year we have an outcome like we do this year. We'll be looking for a new coach.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I hear you, brother.
and that's the way it goes. State and Carolina have been. They're the same. We get sorry coaches, and y'all had a good coach, but he's at the end of his career, man.
Yeah, he's at the end of his
The recruiting down,
Yep. So you said State by 3. Give me a final, man, so that I can put you down in here so you can win all these monies. All these monies.
I think it'll come down to a field goal. I think it'll be it'll probably 30 to 27.
30 to 27. 30 to 27 bad guys.
Yeah. And like I say, that score could flip.
Right.
Like I said, they're both people. Like I say, State knows, hey, we stop the run, we win. We don't stop the run, guess what? We lose.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. It's not, and that's a job because you got one of the best running backs in the country. So
Right.
it's going to be a job trying to stop him all night long.
All night long. Yep, I agree, Bobby.
Yeah.
I agree,
Yeah,
brother.
but
I
you know,
agree.
when we got a running back that run good last week against Georgia Tech. So if we can open up holes for him,
If you can
So,
open up
I mean,
holes
it-
for
like-
Hollywood Smothers, man, that's the guy that worries me. I'm not so much worried about Jordan Waters,
Yeah.
but Hollywood Smothers is the guy that really does have home run potential, and Carolina's gonna have to do a really good job of filling their gaps and making sure they tackle that dude.
Yeah,
'Cause- and don't just try to hit him because he's a smaller guy. They got to wrap him up. We got safeties that like to come downhill and try to destroy people, and they end up coming in, with no wrap up. And if Hollywood, if we don't tackle, he could have a big night. He could have a big night. So
No, I want to say it comes down to both teams stopping the run. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't think the passing game is going to kill us. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down who can stop the run.
right, I agree,
And,
man.
that's because I watched Carolina last week, man. They stopped the run, and the quarterback couldn't beat him with his arm.
Yeah.
And we're the same way. Our quarterback can scramble, he can run, but he can throw the ball a little bit downfield. He's coming in his own, quarterback. I give him another year. Next year he's gonna be much better.
Yeah,
So but yeah. So it's gonna come down who can stop the run.
got to get
It's
him
simple.
this year, man.
It's simple as that.
Got to get him this year.
Yeah,
What's your favorite Carolina State moment, Bobby?
Well, he took one away where y'all Carolina beat us in that game. Y'all started one. We thought we should have won that game. Thought the referee was wrong. but
Which
but
one? D.A. McClendon?
yeah, they were many of them. Through the Russell Wilson years, Phillip
That
River
guy,
year.
man.
But I'm gonna have to go, man. I'm gonna have to go 2 years ago, man.
When they came back?
when y'all had us down a couple of scores.
Yeah,
y'all had
dude.
down 2 scores.
Oh, my gosh.
And y'all sacked the quarterback, and then he threw the pass down the field and got a touchdown, and then they recovered the onside kick
Yeah.
and got
Yeah.
the touchdown. Then we intercepted the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's the greatest comeback I think in the rivalry game.
Yeah. I'm sure y'all were excited. Yeah, 'cause
Man,
we
I'll
had
be
that
honest
game in
with
the
you.
bag, man.
I thought when you kicked that field goal, I said it's over.
Yeah, I thought we had that game in the
didn't think
bag.
they could do it.
And then of course, a safety lets somebody get over his head. When State's down by 2 scores with 2.5 minutes left, like they don't have to take a shot. you know, and I
Yeah.
mean, rule number one, nobody gets behind you, and you allow State a quick score and then an opportunity to
Yep.
onside kick, which they were able to get. So, I mean, that just, yeah, infuriating. Once again, infuriating. And
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right because you had a guy wide open downfield. He scores a touchdown on you, and then whoever thought the kicker would get the onside kick?
right, right,
So.
right, man. Yeah. So
I mean,
I hope
be honest
we
with
have.
you, kickers don't recover onside kicks.
They really shouldn't. Yeah, they really shouldn't, man. They really shouldn't. But well, I appreciate you,
mean,
Bobby. I appreciate you, man, and I hope you have a really good trip, man. Y'all drive safe if y'all are driving at night. So y'all drive safe. Make sure you get to
yeah,
stinking Keenan Stadium. You going with your son?
yeah, we're going. Yep, me, him, and one of his friends are going. And we're gonna hang out down there. We're gonna get down there early and all, and get down there and get ready for the game.
Well, that's good,
And all.
man. That's good. Well, y'all, I hope y'all get
Yeah,
there safe. Make sure you stay in your seats. Be quiet. I don't want to hear any noise over there from them boys in red. Okay. All right.
I should. I mean, I tell you what, these Carolina fans and NC State fans take this rivalry very seriously.
I know
because
they do.
we went to an NC State game. I think it was the first game of the season. I think they playing Miami. This is a couple of years ago. They playing a little team out of Miami, Florida, and we haven't even really started the game against them yet, and one of the Wolfpack fans over there already cussing Carolina,
Yeah.
and all that. And I'm sitting there, we're like 11 games out playing Carolina,
Right.
and we're playing the first game. We ain't even started the game yet, they're over there running their mouth about Carolina.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I already starting,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, up here in
I hear ya.
Tennessee, they don't care about that game. They care about the game coming up this weekend, them and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, man.
yeah, so.
Yep.
All
Well, I
right, bro.
appreciate you. I
Well,
appreciate
have
you
a good
calling
one,
in.
man.
All right, you too, brother. Be safe, man.
You're the same.
All right, Bobby. Bobby said 30 to 27 bad guys, man. So we got our first Wolfpacker in here that's pulling for the wrong team. Like I said, man, if you're an NC State fan in here and you're going to the game, stay in your seat. All right, eat your little hot dog and sip on your soda. All right, that section of the stadium is not allowed to say anything. Okay. You're on the phone with Russ. Who am I speaking to?
Russ, what's
Oh,
going on?
man, we got
Your boy
another-
Nick, your rival
another-
boy here.
Another Wolfpacker in the house. What's up, Nick?
What's going on, Carolina Nation?
What's up, man? So what you got for me, Nick? How bad are y'all gonna lose tomorrow?
Oh man, we ain't going down without a dog. You know that.
Yeah, so you
you
gonna
know
fight?
that. State is
gonna-
not going down without a fight tomorrow.
You're gonna fight for this L. Okay, I got you, brother.
Hey, as good as we've looked on the past with Georgia Tech, man, if our defense could shut down the last couple of possessions, it would have been great. And I feel like that's what it's going to come down to tomorrow.
Yeah. Last couple of possessions between Carolina and State. I would say the way that you guys played against Georgia Tech and the way that Carolina played against Boston College, you guys should feel more confident than us. I mean,
yeah, I agree with that. Like, we should come in this game confident, ready to play. I mean, against our rivals, but then again, you guys got Mack leaving this year. That's going to give some juice to the squad. Both teams are going to be fired up, ready to go out of the gates. But what I'm interested to see is how are we going to respond on defense to shut down the run in the game. That's what we got to do, man.
Yeah.
We struggle on the defensive line.
Yeah. So you think it's predicated once again off of can you stop Omarion Hampton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree with that, man. I think that it's crazy because if I'm the defensive coordinator playing against Carolina, it's not even a question. What do we have to do to win this football game? We need to put numbers in the box and stop Omarion Hampton and make Jacoby Criswell beat us in the air. Jacoby Criswell and the wide receivers. It's not even a question, man. So, if y'all are gonna win the game, you got to stop Big O. Do you think that State can stop Big O? Or here's another question: do you think Chip Lindsey, Carolina's OC, has another brain fart and decides to only give him 10 carries? Because that's another way you beat Carolina. Don't give your All-American running back any touches.
Yeah, that'll be one key for us to win tomorrow is keep them from touching. And we just got to do better on offense. I feel like that's where we've struggled some from time to time is that we're not getting first downs on drives we need, and it's been killing us. Like, we can't afford to not get first downs late in a game like this. It's just all about momentum, really, man. Fan base, momentum, get these boys fired up. Whoever's wanting it more is honestly going to get this one. Who's hungry?
Yeah. Whoever is the hungriest. Well, State was hungry last year, and Carolina kind of sleptwalked through the game. So,
Oh, yeah. I
you know,
could totally tell, man. One of the best linebackers in the ACC, Peyton Wilson, was a total tank. I would love to have him back this year and suit up.
yeah, I think that's the guy that you guys have been missing greatly, man. So, what you think, man? What's the final score, Nick?
I do not want to jinx it, fellas, but I'm going to probably predict it's going to come down to the last drive of the game. But it could go either way, like your past boy said. I mean, it could be State 30 to Carolina 21, and that score could flip. But either way, I'm going to probably say we're not going to put up 30 points this game. It's probably going to be like 21 to like 13 is what I'm assuming.
21 to 13.
State.
Who? State?
Yeah.
Good night,
You know
man.
me,
If
man.
Carolina scores 13 points, are you sure you don't want to
Yeah.
change to are you sure you don't want to change your pick to North Carolina? You said it could go either way. I'll let you pick Carolina, man.
Nah, never give it to the boys in blue. That ain't right, brother.
I
I
hear you,
wasn't
man.
raised that way, but hey, I'll say it in. It could go either way, but in potential, I
Yeah.
feel confident about this one. But then again, the way we've played all season, DJ better get the ball pumped downfield.
Yeah.
The
21-13.
passing on offense
State.
is what I think is going to help us out momentumly in this game.
Well, if y'all hold Carolina to 13 points, which I don't, it's not necessarily a high scoring, high octane offense, but if you hold them to 13 points, I'd say that it's pretty safe to say that you stopped O'Mary and Hampton. So I mean,
Yeah.
kind of with that score, you're telling me that you think that there's a good chance that they could stop Big O, make Carolina have to beat them through the air, and I don't think even Carolina fans think that that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, man. I definitely think this is going to be a high-scoring game because both on defense isn't really going to be effective. Like, I feel like defense hasn't been there, but offense has been there for time to time. Then again, it's going to be getting the ball downfield. If all it takes is one play to screw up your defense and get the momentum swinger on the other side.
Right. Yeah, man.
I mean, who I'm hoping for tomorrow gets the ball and gets a run is KC, obviously, Concepcion, and then I'm hoping for Waters to make a run. And, yeah, we'll just see what happens and goes from there, man. I mean,
We'll see what happens,
it's going to be
bro.
a football game. Dorn will have him pumped, and Mack, he's going to have his boys ready to go for one last time, which, hey, I give the legends some respect, man. Hey, great football rival. I couldn't have asked for a better way for this game to go out,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. Carolina has Mac leaving, a bunch of seniors leaving, a bunch of graduates leaving. They got State planting the flag at the 50 a couple of years ago. They got Dave Doran's comments. They got, they got blown out last week. And then on the other hand, State has to stink and win in order to go bowling. And everybody knows that Dave Doran does not like NC State or does not like Carolina. So this is why it's the Super Bowl in the state, man. And I'm hoping that whoever Carolina gets as their next head coach, I'm hoping that Bubba Cunningham sits him down and says, "Hey, listen, there's one thing I need you to understand, okay? The past guy, which is Mac, I love him, But this whole thing where, we don't care about this game and it's just another football game and I don't go to sleep hating NC State, that's unacceptable here. That's one of the questions I'm asking him. Like, I don't expect you to come in here as an outsider and automatically just develop that, but I need you to understand the importance of this stinking football game. We need
Oh yeah.
we need the Carolina coach to hate State like Dave Doran hates Carolina. That's what we need.
Oh yeah. I agree, man. That's totally needed in this rivalry
Yeah.
for sure.
So
I mean, it's just how it is. I mean, these two teams are going to hate each other. They've hated each other since the beginning of time, football and basketball.
yeah, man. So you said 21-13. I hear you, Nick. So I appreciate you giving me a call, man. You gonna stop by tomorrow? You gonna kick it in the
What do
live
you
chat
mean
for a
by
little
that?
bit?
Oh yeah, man. I'll totally be here tomorrow.
Okay.
I got people coming over to watch the State and Carolina game. I got my damn grill ready.
Let's
I got
go.
my stuff.
I like it.
Babe, it's gonna be a barbecue tomorrow, man.
I like
like
it, man.
20, 30 people coming over.
I like it. Super Bowl Saturday, baby. I like it. I like
Yeah,
it, man.
the only worst thing is about most of them are Tar Heel fans, and then some of them are State fans are pretty brilliant.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, at least you got some.
Hey, the loyalty is what counts, making it in there, brother.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So Nick says 21-13, brother. Hey, you enjoy your get together tomorrow, and make sure you come and hang out in the live chat, man. We'll talk a little junk, a little friendly junk, man. All right.
Yeah, man, for sure.
All right, Nick.
Always love to have it, and always love to be in here,
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling, brother.
All right, thanks for having me in the show tonight, boys. See you tomorrow. Go Pack.
All right, man. Go Heels. Oh, Nick, man. Nick likes to call into the show, man. He's one of our local Wolfpackers that likes to get in here, man. So the last two guys have picked State, man. We got 2 Carolinas and 2 States. And I wouldn't expect anything else from some State boys to pick NC State. I mean, like I said, if you look at the way both teams played their last 2 games, I would say that NC State should come in here with a little bit more confidence. I don't know what my confidence level would be. If you said, Russ, how confident are you that Carolina, this is what I'll say. If I was confident in Carolina coming out and playing Carolina football, I'm talking about coaches coaching, players playing, juice flowing, I would say I'm like an 8 out of 10 and Carolina comes out with a victory. The problem is I don't know if I'm going to get Carolina from stinking last week or Carolina from JMU or Carolina from, even the Pitt in the beginning of the Georgia Tech game where it just seemed kind of lethargic, listless. I don't know what team I'm going to get. And so my confidence level has to be at a 5. I mean, Carolina, the team, the program has no reason to come into this thing not fired up. But I've said that time and time again. They didn't have any reason to not come fired up against Virginia, last year. They didn't have any reason to not come fired up against Georgia Tech 2 years ago, against South Carolina in the bowl game when they were preseason top 10. There's so many games where they didn't have a reason to not be fired up, and they showed up not fired up under this regime. And so going into this game, man, not only is it a rivalry, which adds to that, what Carolina team are you going to get? That is the question, man. That is the question. Rob said 28 will have over 100 yards tomorrow. He's going to have to. If O'Marion Hampton is under 100, Carolina does not win this football game. 100%. They cannot win, I don't believe, without O'Marion having a big game. And that big game comes with Chip Lindsey handing him the daggone football. Unlike, what he did not do last Saturday in Chestnut Hill. So I'm looking forward to this game, man. We don't have any more. It looks like we don't have anybody else calling in. We got 4 plus mine. You guys already know. I think this is going to be a low scoring affair. I got Carolina 23-21. I think it's going to be an absolute battle. I think it's going to be like it should be every year. I expect to see a little bit of chippiness. And and I expect for Carolina to take advantage of that home field and send Mack Brown out on his shield, man. Carolina 23, NC State 21, and I'm ready for a war tomorrow. So, like I said, if you're a North Carolina fan, if you are an NC State fan, it does not get bigger than this football game, man. And there are so many things tied into this one that make it so important. 6-5, 5-6 doesn't matter. This game is super important, man. And so make sure you shouldn't be doing anything except either being at the game or sitting on your stinking couch watching this bad boy. Or if you're, go to the bar, go to the sports bar, do what you do. But in North Carolina, man, this is the one that stinking matters. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3:30. Live stream, live reaction to Watch Party, man. I'm really excited about it. And I'm excited about Carolina keeping the Wolf Sack home. So we'll see you tomorrow, 3:30, baby. Love you, Tar Heel Nation. Appreciate everybody stopping by and saying what's up, man.